Here we go. It's on. Even though sometimes the recording misbehaves a little bit and maybe sometimes just like abruptly stops somewhere, but most of the time it's okay. So once again, every time there's like, you feel like your opponent forgot to add a defensive move, try to find not just so much even a punishment, but more like, how can you profit now? Maybe profit for free. Maybe now you have some moves that you can play for free because he didn't defend properly. So, but also, a lot of the time, this is maybe it's kind of an advanced thought, but in your games, you always make a lot of exchanges. Like, for example, this move. This move is forcing white to maybe connect here, and white is now protected. But this stone, when you think about it, this A and B exchange, it doesn't give you anything. It forces white to connect, yes, but it doesn't really make you stronger. It doesn't give you points. It doesn't really do any like immediate good. And when this happens, this is me telling you, it's an advanced thought, but just keep it in mind that typically, if you don't see an immediate profit off of your exchange, don't make the exchange. This is a mistake that everybody makes from your level all the way up until 1Q, except, of course, the exchanges get more and more sophisticated. But everybody makes extra exchanges. I make extra exchanges as well. But every time, like the higher you get, the lower the amount of useless exchanges. But still, you never get fully rid of it. Almost impossible. You always exchange something. Just because maybe our brains kind of like the idea of simplifying the game. Like you make this AB, it's 2 stones on the board. You don't need to think about the possibility anymore. It's already played. So you can visually see it. That's easy for our brains, and that's why our brain always seeks this simplification. But just keep it in mind. All right, let's go. Okay, the shoulder hit. And then how to respond if your opponent doesn't do anything. So this is fine. First, let's attack the stone. This happens. And now let's think about how to continue. The idea of a shoulder hit is that this A stone is very close to the B stone. You're shoulder hitting that B stone, right?
Yes.
And because you're so close to it, it means that you can, if your opponent doesn't respond, you can go into immediate contact with that stone. And that's what you want. Because once you move your A stone, you will have 2 stones and your opponent only 1. So you will have the local advantage. So for example, if your opponent does this, now he has the local advantage. He has 2 stones, you have 1. That's the proper response for white. Or this way, right? He has 2, you have 1. But as soon as he doesn't do it, you can do the same thing to him as he just did to you. You just go and say, all right, Mr. Confident Man, let me push that stone again. And then, for example, if he ignores you again, well, let's just take over that stone. It might seem slow, but a minute ago, this was like white's left side. But now, here we go. We played this one, now this one, now this one, and now this is no longer white's left side. And even those 2 stones now look kind of shaky. Now they almost look like they're weak, and they could be attacked next. So kind of this is what you do. You just push on that stone. And white kind of almost feels like he has to protect. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe you push again. 3 against 2. Maybe white does something like this. And then you could just continue with anything. You could make a jump to the center. You could make a jump in this direction. Anything you want, you can do it. But as long as what we're doing is we're trying to erase this area and make sure that white doesn't get too many points here. So any jump, as long as your 3 stones don't die, that's good. It's all good. But even still, even though you didn't push, I really liked how you handled this. So you added another stone, and then another stone, and then you found a moment, and here, very nice place. This is, I'm so happy that you didn't play just the very predictable something like this. I mean, it's okay, but you don't have to do it. So you add another move, but at some point you have to stop, right? Because you already played 4 stones on the left side. So if you play four stones, you kind of destroyed the left side. Okay, you've destroyed it, you've erased the potential. But if you add another 4 stones, for example, this will become kind of too much, right? Because those stones, they don't give you points. You're just playing them there to just live and erase white's points. So you don't want to play too many. Play 4, good. But if you now keep throwing stones in there while white is gaining points everywhere else, maybe you start losing. Little by little, you start losing points. So you made some shape, and that's enough. Maybe you could even like press here again. This is because this is free. White responds, push again, then make your jump. What was the jump? Was it, I forgot, was it this one? Okay, make some jump, and that's enough. Your shape is already good enough. It won't die. It has plenty of space to make some 2 eyes, and that's it. Now you can just start thinking about where to go next after this. Other than this, everything went nice. So even though you didn't like continue the shoulder hit correctly, officially correctly, but you handled it pretty well. And I think the reason you kind of went behind a little bit is that you played 4, now you played 5, and after this, 6, 7, 8, right? 9, 10. So you're adding stones, but you see, all of those 10 stones, like all together, this is not real territory. This is just some 6 points. So 10 stones to gain 6 points, not very efficient, right? That's why you don't want 10. You just want like as few as possible. So that was one thing. And also there's actually something else that maybe you're not seeing. And let me go back here, because this move here, this move was a mistake. White was supposed to maybe connect here, right? Or make some kind of connection to make sure that the shape is okay. But this is a mistake. So question is, if I told you that you can punish this mistake right now, you don't have to do it maybe right now because it's too small, but later in the game, when all the big points have been played out, you can come back here and punish. So how to punish?
Okay, R10.
R10, well, let's see. I'm going to make numbers. So you play R10, white connects.
And now extend on S10.
Exactly. Very simple 1, 2, 3 combination. And you've seen this already several times in your games, and you kind of know this trick. Atari, go down, and the 2 stones die. So white played S11, but white is just sacrificing the 2 stones, basically, instead of saving them. So that is something that was there the entire game. And the funny thing is that it stayed there all the way into the counting, and neither you nor your opponent saw this. So like later, you played this move even instead of capturing. You played this one, and white still didn't do anything. And then it stayed like this all the way here. And even white played this endgame here. White played this endgame, you defend here, but you don't even need to connect. This endgame was a mistake for white. So same cut, take, they all just die. No need to connect. So this is just something like you're playing the game, but you need to stay focused and you need to stay sharp, because your opponent will, I told you this before, they will make mistakes. They'll make a lot of mistakes. And if you're like maintaining this scanning ability and you're looking for those mistakes, you'll find them. And then you punish them. Because of course, it's easier not to do this. It's easier just to play the normal moves, like the normal moves. Just keep playing this one or whatever. But that's, that's how you miss the profit. And so this stayed there the whole game, and then here, this is the final position. You count the game here, but actually, it's still here.
Oh,
Yeah, at this point, I think black is losing so much that even if you capture, you don't win, but still, that's kind of it's a very big thing. You take this, it's like more than 10 points. A lot more than 10 points, actually. This is, I don't know, 15 points, something. Because you take the 4 stones and also you destroy all of those points for white. So that's pretty nice.
yeah.
So that's it for the first game. Mm-hmm.
Again, I wasn't and how can I say this? You said to do a shoulder hit and then jump, jump, jump.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was doing.
Okay.
I wasn't really trying to make points or even win the game as much as I wanted to see what shapes I could make out of jumping after the shoulder hit.
Yeah, and a lot of the things that you did are very, very nice. Like a lot of those shapes are just very good. You jumped nicely. I'm happy that you didn't do, for example, something like this, or this or this. Those are like heavy shapes that don't really make any eyes. So you made jumps. That was great. That was great. It's just that you don't need so many.
And my lesson, or what I noticed at the end, was exactly that I spent too many moves on the jumps and not enough moves, making territory or doing something else.
Yeah.
So I spent too much time there.
Yes.
And made too few points in the middle.
Yes, you got carried away with the shoulder
in the
hit.
center of the board.
Yeah, because a shoulder hit is like, I mean, there are some positions where a shoulder hit is incredibly powerful. Like, for example, let's imagine that, let's say black is building something like this. Black is building some like very powerful, I don't know, this kind of area. And if you're not careful, if you just wait long enough, maybe black will like turn this into a very, very big moyo and then maybe even territory. So, and this is where you, like once you see that and you want to neutralize that territory, this is when making something like this could be very nice. I'm not saying that this is actually the best move in the situation. Maybe you could argue that you could just enter the corner or something like that. But this is when there's a big framework with a bit of a, with some stone on the third line, you shoulder hit it, like this, something like this, you jump, you escape out of here, and there you go. You flatten the whole position, and now there's never going to be a chance for black to make like 100 points. Black gets some points left and right, but never too much. And that's kind of the idea of a shoulder hit. You get in there, you reduce it to like half size, and then you escape. But there are some positions where, but there are, like, for example, the next game, and I'm going to send it to you right now, is where maybe a shoulder hit wasn't that necessary. You played it kind of for practice, and it's all good.
Yeah.
It's practice, so it's good. But actually, this is where maybe if you compare it to what you just saw, open the game and let's find the shoulder hit. Where was it? Dun, 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 dun. It was right here. Okay. So here, this is a shoulder hit. You're black, and the position is even right now. But look at this area. Like, how big is this for white? How many points does white have here? It's hard to imagine white making too many points. Like, this is not that kind of huge moyo that white had in the previous example. This is something much, 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 much smaller. And so this is where maybe you don't really need a shoulder hit. You can just, because you have a lot of points on the right. So you just keep making, you know, for example, this is a very nice move. Just tiger's mouth, strengthen the shape, or just, you know, take points over here. Also very big. So you just keep taking your points because white doesn't have a moyo.
And I debated because it didn't seem like it was that big.
Yeah.
But I did it mainly because I wanted practice.
Yeah, so a shoulder hit is nice when you see that,
in fact,
your opponent has like an area that might grow into, it looks like it could be more than 50 points, you know, something huge. That's when you shoulder hit it. This area looks like 15 points. Maybe not enough to make you worried. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
Well, no, and over on that left-hand side, he has stones on the D line. Not exactly a wall, but he's got stones over there. And I was kind of curious. I don't think normally I would do a shoulder hit at H4 because he's got stones there supporting him, and I just wanted to kind of see if I could get away with it.
Yeah, it would be nice if, like, for example, your lower right black group didn't exist and the entire lower side would belong to white. Then you'll like shoulder hit there and escape and like reduce it. But you already have that group, which means that white actually lost just a whole lot of points. Like after this invasion, after this situation, white already doesn't have any points on the lower side, like not many. And like even here, this is actually the kind of move that you should try to work on slowly getting rid of, because when you play here, white's going to respawn now, you will connect, and you lose Sente. So you're playing on the second line at move, what is this? Move 33. So you're playing move 33, you're playing on the second line, and you're losing Sente. This is something that you don't want to do, because second line, very small, and gote. So white responds, you connect, there you go. White gets a move. And white plays here. But let's return here and imagine, what if you don't play Q2? What if instead you play this move? What an amazing turn of events. Now you have taken all the potential of the wall, and now what is this white wall even doing there? Like it's just standing there looking at the flowers and the sky, but it's not doing anything. It's not getting white any points. So this would have been a much more interesting direction. Yes, it's also gote, but not second line, third line, and so much more painful for white, because now you've completely eliminated any potential at the bottom that white could have there. But let's get back to the topic. Remember I told you at the beginning that every time you see that your opponent kind of didn't finish the shape, you can try to find that moment and finish the shape instead of him. And this is the way you profit. This game is a nice illustration of that. So here, for example, you attach. How do you expect white to respond to this? When you were doing this, how did you envision it was going to go?
I kind of thought he would go to block it, or go to B8.
Yeah, very reasonable assumption. Yes.
C6.
Yeah. A C6 is probably too much, because if he does C6, you cut, and then
no, C6.
Oh, sorry. C6. Oh, sorry. C6. Oh, C6 is easy, right? You just do this.
Yeah.
So probably you're right. Probably this is the most reasonable response. Just block it, and then you go where after this?
Well, that should be B6.
Of course. You save the stone. Typical. That stone, next move, if you don't play B6, white will, and the stone is gone. So you play B6, and that's safe. So that would have been natural to expect, and yet white didn't play it. And so for you later, not right now, but later, maybe, this could be the next place, because white forgot to block you, so at some point getting out like this or like this is a very nice thing to do. Because white could like confine you in the corner and white didn't do it. So you can get out. And in the same way here, this shape, you played here, which is also very, very big. But there is a move remaining in the upper left, which is also very nice for black. Can you try and find it? Where is the next move that white would like to play there and you would like to play there?
Well, white could play at c14.
Yes, but there's an even better move because...
e17.
Yeah, so e17 is kind of a very pleasant move for white, and white should probably play it right now. Because if white plays here, you kind of don't want to ignore this, because this is threatening the corner. You probably need to maybe connect. So white gets this 1-2 exchange for free. And if that's the case, now we go back, and that's a very nice move to snatch from white.
For black.
Yeah, now you could take it, because this is your move right now. White made a mistake. This whole sequence, this maybe this attachment and this connection was a mistake, because it allows you to go here. And that is such a powerful move to make. Because not only does it make your corner bigger, not only does it make your corner stronger, but it also doesn't allow white to block you easily. And it also weakens these stones. Now they are feeling kind of floating here. And next, if white doesn't do anything, let's suppose white plays here. Now you can even start attacking them and surrounding them. So that's a problem for white. So that's another one of those moves, e17. And now here, you play this one, white plays here. Where is the next nice shape move for white and for black?
L17.
Exactly, L17 is a great point. Imagine, you play this one, boom, white plays here. And then you connect, boom, white plays here. You connect, and there you go. Look at how many points suddenly, out of nowhere, seemingly, white just made, because white played those two things for free. But you get one of them. For example, you played this one, white has to block. You play this one, boom, white has nothing. No points. Just a second ago, white had like 30 points there. Now, nothing. So that is the power of shape moves, moves that complete shapes that your opponent forgot to make, and you made them. That's the way to do it. This is no easy business. I'm showing you this, but finding this in the game is, they're kind of standard, but also not so standard. Maybe this one is slightly easier because maybe you've seen something like this before, but the one on maybe in the upper left, slightly more difficult because it just comes with experience. You just have to feel that e17 is a very big, crucially important point. Interesting for both players. And if it's interesting for both, if you take it now, so good. All right, let's get to those simple things. I asked you a few questions before the lesson, and you answered all of them correctly. So all of those life and death situations, you solved them correctly in isolation. But in the game you didn't, and that's what kind of caused all the problems. So you magically survived at the bottom. This is crazy, but alive and okay. And so now we'll get back to this one. And now, right? White plays this one. Why not just pull back the stone?
I don't know.
What is this? Why make it complicated? Just give it up.
That was a big mistake. I don't know why.
Yeah, but actually even now, there's a way for you to get out of there. There's a way to, because your B7 stone can still be useful. And there's an interesting maybe combination to make it useful.
Okay.
In the game, you just played this one, which is also fine. Just block off the corner, but you can also think of something else. Like, think about the benefits. Let me just ask you an extra question. Think about the benefits of what happens if you Atari on the other side. If you give up the stone from a different direction. You Atari at A, white has to capture, and then what?
Well, I'm not sure because I think he's going to take A7.
Yes.
And interesting. Maybe I go C8.
C8. Okay. Let's suppose you play C8 and white connects at B7. So let's suppose, I'm going to put numbers. Let's suppose you play 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect. What next? Can you use your 1 and 3 stones to get something done on the outside? Because remember, your opponent has this hole here at A.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always there. And once you get a stone at 1, that stone helps expose that weakness at A. Oh.
Yes.
So you can, for example, you just push next, right? You push through with Atari.
At D5.
Yes, you push here, and let's suppose white. Let's suppose white connects.
Ah, okay. Then E4.
Exactly, right? So this is an interesting. Yeah, it's like a 7-move combination, but it's not very difficult because every move is basically Atari. You just Atari, 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 boom. You've captured the 2 stones. So this way, you fed him the B7 stone, but in exchange you gain the 2 stones of his and connect both your groups. So we do this, push through, and capture. And this way, yes, something died, but in exchange your groups are connected. Black is feeling okay. So that is also a possibility. Right? But, okay, even easier.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to read that out that far, but yes.
I know. But this is, it's like you cannot read this out in the beginning, but that's the thing. You start seeing these things again and again, and sooner or later, this kind of thing becomes almost like as intuitive as you don't even need to read it. You just, your brain will just automatically just pop it into your head and just say, oh yeah, there's this, yeah. You just kind of see it as an idea. I don't read this as a sequence even. When I look at this, I don't read like 1, 2, 3. I just see the final result immediately. I just know that, okay, there's going to be Atari, and capture.
Interesting.
So you kind of get a feel for what's going to happen. But only because your brain saw this, seen this many, many times in all sorts of corners and shape patterns and very similar positions, but in different situations. But yeah, just
Suppose you played this number just like this.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yeah.
And he plays away someplace. It doesn't matter.
Well, let's say he plays here.
Okay. Now, if I connect at C6.
C6. That would be another one of those exchanges that you don't want to make. Yes, exactly. So it's because it's not a connection, right? It's not, you already have a connection. Your stones are fully connected here. This diagonal connection is unbroken. You cannot break it. So when
No, I'm not trying to protect. I'm trying to expose his weaknesses.
Yeah, but as soon as you do this, it's naive. It's naive to think that he's not going to do anything. Of course, he's going to do this, and yeah. So you just exchanged 3 for 4, but what exactly did this exchange give you? It made him stronger, that's for sure. But what did you gain? Your corner was strong and it remained strong, so not much there. You could still push here, but maybe white can now save. So even those 2 stones you don't get. So yeah, this exchange is not necessary, but again, if you just pull back simply, your corner is safely alive, everything's fine. But this way, more complicated. And now we got to this, and also here, right? This is your classic situation, your stone on the second line once again, and again, only one way to save that stone, by connecting at C2, and yet you come up with one more magic trick.
No, yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, you just have to trust the math. You just have to trust the universe, like the universe of the game. It's always like this. It's always those stones on second lines. I mean, yes, there are exceptions, Bruce. There are exceptions. But before you get to exceptions, you have to internalize the rule. This is the rule. And then one day, there will be an exception. But you'll get to that. But most of the time...
I know better. E1, I know better. And I've fallen into this more than once, although not recently.
So yeah, just
I don't know why.
Just this one, maybe, and then this one, or I don't even know. Do you need to play this? Maybe you don't need to play this. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. So your corner is alive, your group is alive, and then you can just play this move, which is still very, very big.
It's still there.
Yeah, still there. And then after this, he captures, and this is also a classic problem. Your group is alive. This group is alive. Nothing white can do. He tries to do something, but again, a simplest response works. There's no need to make anything magical. You just connect here, and how is white going to continue now, right? If white plays here, 2 eyes. If white plays here, what do?
A2.
Yep. Black is alive, either way. So this move is just, white is hoping for something, and something happens. So you can't blame the guy.
Yeah.
You can't blame the guy. He tried it and it worked. So this, and suddenly it gets killed. And now, okay, this. Also, it's the same principle. Remember we talked about like, try to run more rather than crawl. And so connecting here and also doing this one and this one, this connection, all of these are slow. It's better not to do this, but to run. So for example, let's say that you for example, here, instead of connecting, let's say you just do a jump. And so what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that white's going to push here and Atari? Yes, but then you make another jump. White takes, you make another jump. And you've successfully escaped. And white captured 1 stone or whatever, it doesn't even matter. White played a few slow moves, capturing some stones, but it didn't do anything to you because you are already out of here like a little grasshopper. So that's kind of the idea, that this way, white is being slow and you're being fast. But in the game, you're being slow. You're not jumping, but you're, again, this move that you're connecting here, it's similar to kind of doing that. right? It's the equivalent of doing something like this, rather than doing that or this, something fast. This is slow. So no need to do this. And again, you're playing too many moves. It's similar to what we had last game. You have the tendency to kind of try to make it super safe, and then you play too much, too many moves. So there's no need to worry so much. And even maybe this connection, again, this connection secures the eye, but no need to. Just run. If white takes now, you lose that eye. But who cares? You're connected to the top group. So yes, you lost one eye and it's now false eye. But it doesn't matter because you already escaped. So be faster. Be this speed racer who's just racing out of there.
And I was trying to use tigers' mouths to get into that area, and it was too slow. I can see that it was too slow.
Yeah, probably. So
every time I tried to do it, he blocked me.
And so finally, are you alive even? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not alive.
Okay. So yeah, running faster. For example, here you're pushing this side, but you want to you kind of want to run in that direction, right?
Yeah.
In that direction, towards that corner. That would be very nice. So this way, maybe not push like this, but maybe push like this. This move actually helps you move in the right direction. Now, if white wants to kill you, he has to escape with the stone, and then you start running. And then you run. So this one stone is just helping you make some shape, preparing you for the jump out of here. That's kind of the idea. And also here, jump. Yeah, but also maybe this. Attachment, usually Hane is advised. Hane is always the strongest response to any attachment. You play this, and what is white going to do? Well, unfortunately, white has this move still, which is very nice. It's protecting the shape and attacking the corner. That's super unpleasant. And it kind of punishes you for not playing that move earlier throughout the first 100 moves where you could play it.
Yeah.
But still, this way at least your group wouldn't die. You probably, now you would do something like that and you're probably alive. So this, let's see, here. Yeah, you're trying to make an eye, but this is obviously not going to work. So maybe look for weaknesses. White has some loopholes, right? Find a weakness that white has and let's exploit it. Okay, final question and then we move on.
Okay, I'm trying to save that group in the middle. That's
so instead of this move,
point here.
Let's find a weakness. So white has a lot of stones surrounding you, like all of these stones. Yeah. And there's plenty of holes. So find the weakest one and let's use it. Hard question, by the way, probably. I'm gonna make more tea while you're thinking. Right.
Okay, well, I'm looking at E16.
E16. Yes, that is a hole, I agree. But unfortunately, white has 3 stones on one side and 3 stones on the other side of that hole. So,
So it's just going to block me.
yeah, so if you wedge now, white can probably just, white's going to cut on one of the sides, maybe this one, and then fix the other weaknesses, and you're still cut
Doesn't
off.
get me anywhere.
So yeah, you need to try and find the one with some more weakness than this. Good try though. This is a good try. I'll be right back.
Okay. Harley, come. Harley, come. I'm here. Okay.
I'm on my last pack of butter waffles from Korea.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Bought them from a convenience store somewhere in Korea.
Okay, what if we do the other side at L16?
All right, let's see that. Yeah, that's probably better because there, white has this lonely looking stone at K16, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea,
So,
yeah.
so if I go there and then I go to J16.
So let's suppose white now cuts you, I guess.
Yeah,
And
now
then,
J16.
oh, don't save the stone? J16? Yeah, maybe. Typically, we want to help the stone, otherwise white will capture it. And now, yeah, this is actually looking more dangerous for white because now white needs to save this one, and now maybe we wedge here, and all of a sudden, those 4 stones are cut off. And if white doesn't figure out a way how to save them, maybe they all die, and your group is now safe, and you win the game. So this might be an idea, actually. This might work. My personal solution was an easier one because, again, I like to simplify, but I think this might actually work. More complicated, probably. My solution was immediately pressure the weaker stone. So like this one, just go there, and white finds it very difficult to stop you now. Is the connection still there?
You're kind of fading in and out, but
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe the signal was pretty bad, but okay, we're almost done here. So I think this one is the easier one because white pretty much cannot block, because now we can do just, what do we do? Atari, and then maybe this one. So it looks very, very dangerous for white. Too many groups unsettled. It looks very, very risky and looks like something is going to collapse. So I think this, somewhere there's too many weaknesses, and if you start pushing through some of those holes, it should be good enough for you to escape. But it's better not to get yourself into this kind of difficult situation. It's better to run fast, like early. So starting here, even starting here, you play this move, that is not the fastest move. Maybe this is faster.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to make eyes directly here. You're trying to like make eyes and run. But this move is trying to like, okay, I'm going for eyes. This is eye number 1. Right? So you don't have to do that. Just run, and if white starts like doing something, you keep running. Just run, 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 run. Okay. Let me stop this.